Do we have sound now? Now we have sound. Well, somehow a cable got unplugged. I apologize. So let me start over again. We have some new people in the chat here this evening. And I already put up my trolls, keep it clean, please sign. I'm quite certain, at least as I have a gut feeling, that there are some people that are watching right now that probably, they enjoy doing some disrupting on various live streams, form undesirable remarks or what have you. And this is not a regular live stream. We're not interviewing anybody tonight. There's a few people in the chat here that I would welcome to come on the screen with me if they wanted to, but that's entirely up to them. I've not invited anybody. It's a whole different thing. And so let me just explain what has transpired this week and the reason for this stream tonight, because we very, very rarely do a live stream on a Wednesday evening. So Monday evening, during our weekly Monday Night Live that we've done for 3 years, we had a guest on the show, a guest out of Mississippi, Mania Homestead. Again, a younger channel that we're trying to showcase, trying to help, trying to get them some exposure. And we do this every week. That's one of the things we do. We help other channels. That's what Two Family Homestead is all about, is helping the other guy. About 9:30, 9:40, somewhere during that time period, we got a knock on the door from the local sheriff's department. Now, interestingly enough, the sheriff's department was not the one called. It was a local law enforcement, but because we are not in town, the local law enforcement did not respond, and they sent it to the county sheriff. And so the county sheriff is the one that came and pounded on our door. And of course, I was killing Sherry, and I was going to shoot the cops as soon as they showed up. And the wording was beyond belief. It was absolutely crazy. But this is not something new. This is something that's happened for years. Unfortunately, it came to our backyard this time. I don't know what the hell we did to piss somebody off. I can't imagine anybody doing this unless we have upset somebody in some fashion. So anyway, that's what happened Monday night. So every Tuesday, I have a Tuesday Tech, and again, it's a help the other guy channel. We try to teach people some on video editing, on using various photo editing, different things they can do with their channel, how to create banners, how to create, how to make their YouTube channels more presentable, or other questions that they may have in regards to cameras, lighting. I'm not saying that we know it all. We definitely do not know it all. But I do know a lot of people. And if I don't know the answer, I'll bet I can get it for you. So, again, Tuesday night, after what happened Monday night, we said, okay, well, let's talk about this. Let's talk about what happened, and let's make some other of these newer, younger channels aware of what the big bad internet can do to you. And for some, they're afraid. They're very afraid. Can I turn my volume up? I can try turning it up. Does that help? Yeah, we got more volume here. I just didn't want it to be clipping. So, again, the whole idea was to educate, was to share with other channels. If this happens to you, if you're doing a live stream because you want to share how big the plants grew in your garden last week, or what new animals you got, or maybe you had a new birth on the homestead, or maybe you fixed a tractor, whatever, and you have a live stream, and all of a sudden the police show up at your door because somebody has made a false report, and the problem is the police don't know it's false. You know, they're on high alert. Okay. I have a phone call. Let's see what's happening here. Hello.
Hello, Daryl Holtcamp. I love you. But I will massacre your entire family, stupid faggot.
Well, that's typical of the phone calls that we get. So you just heard it. So I figured it would be around. So anyway, and I will continue to answer the phone. I mean, I'm sharing this with you. And I'm sure that they're hearing every word that I'm saying right now. So anyway, to go on, the entire intent of last night was to share with other channels what they should do, how they should act, in case they find themselves in a situation that law enforcement of some caliber thinks that there's something nasty going on, so they're on edge and they're coming in with, to use the term lightly, guns drawn, just ready for battle. What are you going to do? I don't know. We tried to share that with folks last night, you know. Okay, you certainly don't expose yourself with something in your hand that they could construe as a gun of any sort or anything like that. You don't. You present yourself to law enforcement the way that they are demanding to see until they have satisfied themselves that whatever so-called threat they're investigating doesn't exist. And then everybody can sit down and have a cup of coffee. The unfortunate thing is that when that happens, what if during that time period, the police are on your doorstep, on your property, trying to neutralize what they feel is a very real threat? And in the case of most of us where we do not reside in town, we're residing out of town, and most counties don't have an abundance of sheriff's deputies, or whatever it might be called. I guess we have another call. Hello. Hello.
Hello, Daryl Holtcamp. How are you doing on this fine Wednesday evening?
I'm doing just fine. Is this
That's good.
Good. Is this a recording?
Yes.
Okay. So have I offended you in some way?
Yes.
What did I do?
Because you are an asshole.
I see. Well, you know, everybody has an asshole.
I don't like you.
Well, okay. So what did I do to offend you, whoever you are? You know my name.
You are lucky the cop knew you, because I wanted everyone killed on Monday.
Well, obviously you're paying attention to what we're doing.
That is a fact. And that is a fact.
Well, why would you want to do this?
I fucking hate what you are doing.
Well, can you explain to me what I'm doing? I don't understand. Can you educate me?
Quit YouTube immediately.
I'm sorry.
Quit YouTube immediately.
What about YouTube? I'm sorry. I was talking when you said it and I did not hear. Can you repeat that?
I said quit YouTube, retarded old dude.
Why should I quit YouTube? Are you on YouTube?
Because you're a dirty scumbag.
Well, okay, so maybe I need to wash my hands more often.
I hate you.
Well, I'm aware of that.
Bastard.
Well, I've been called worse.
You fat little motherfucker.
I've been called worse than that too.
You little queer.
Well, now.
I don't appreciate how you are responding to me.
Well, why is that? I invited you to talk, and you're talking, and I appreciate that. I mean, you have the air right now. You have everybody's attention. So talk to
I
me.
might just swat you again, little fag boy.
Well, maybe.
I swat you 20 times. Do you think I won't do the same to you?
I don't have any idea. But you know what? At my age, I don't worry about it.
Okay, then hang up, you little bastard.
Well, if you're calling me little, you must be pretty big, because I'm over 300 pounds.
We're done with this stupid conversations.
So, well, he hung up. So obviously, whomever this is, they're not going to share their name. And I'm obviously not taking in my shoes like they expect me to do. And I saw going through the chat here that, hey, trace the call and all that. It's a spoof number. That's not the same number that called me earlier today. That's part of the problem that has happened with the internet. There's way too many places out here that people can generate numbers that show on a phone, so you think they're being called from where they're not. But that's just the way it is. So let's go back to what happened last night. Our purpose was to educate channels, try to show people how to act when they received threats, when the police showed up at their door. We tried to share it with folks. We also shared a few people that this has happened to, and some of them maybe haven't acted as well as others. But it's a learning process. The one person that we had on last night, we had the phone lines open. They received a call. We received a call, and right away, they threatened to kill the individual that we had on the show last night. Now, I guess I want to make it clear, as far as I know, if my memory is wrong, that could be, but last night, Sherry and I were not threatened. Monday night we had the SWAT team. We were swatted or doxxed or whatever. Last night, I don't know that we were threatened. However, there were some trolls in the chat that were throwing out things that they shouldn't have thrown out. But that goes back to the old sticks and stones thing. Well, today I received 2 separate calls from the voice you just heard. That it was on their way to come and kill Sherry and I with his AK-47. I don't know. But you know, I'll just put it to everybody out here in the chat right now. If you were going to go kill somebody, would you call them first and say, hey, I'm on my way? Pretty hard to put credibility behind that. Very hard to do that. So that's what prompted tonight's live stream. Is again, I'm not doing this for us. I'm certainly not doing it for the individuals on the phone here that called. But I'm doing it for you folks to show you part of the bad side of doing YouTube and being on the internet. It's not really a real fun thing at all times. But don't let that discourage you. If you like what you're doing, if you like sharing with other people, we have an absolutely wonderful community within the homesteading community. That's the genre that Sherry and I gravitate to and reflect with. And everybody we've met has been wonderful. Okay, no argument. Some people, you have more of a, you just get along better with some than you do with others. But we've not met anybody that we dislike. We just haven't. So anyway, I am hoping, and I'm gonna look here at the chat. I can get a little bit closer here. Let me just let me do this. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Hold on. Okay. I have the I have the phone lines open if the you know, I don't know if it's male or female that's calling. I truly don't. Isn't that amazing? Because it's some sort of a distorted voice. So again, I don't know if it's male or female that's calling. I really can't tell the age. I really don't know. But the phone line is open if anybody out there would like to call in. Please feel free. Numbers are up there. When you dial the number, you have to enter the 9-digit meeting ID number. And I'll be more than happy to take your call. And if this other individual wants to call in and maybe address everybody, that's fine. Or call my phone again. That's fine too. So for some reason, they whoever this is, they obviously are not happy with Sherry and I. I'm going to use us as a group. I don't know. The conversation has always included Sherry and I, not just me, not just Sherry. So I'm not sure how to think about that, but doesn't look like anybody wants to call. Oh, here we go. Hello.
Hello again.
Hi.
Uh-huh.
How are you doing?
Hello again.
Hello. Hello. Well, apparently they didn't want to talk. They just wanted to go, hello again. Very interesting. The test 1, 2. It should have sound. It looks like it's doing sound. Can you not hear me? All right. Looks like the sound is working. Well, I'm a little curious. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hello. 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 Well, I guess they're just going to call and not say anything now. Now, that sounds like the telemarketers I get all day long. Maybe this is I know. Maybe it's a telemarketer I pissed off because he was trying to sell me insurance on a car I don't own. So anyway, the point I want to make is, especially some of the younger channels, and I know this for a fact, I receive a lot of people saying they're ready to close their channels. They're ready to never again do a live stream. They're ready to kind of throw in the towel because that's what somebody wants to do. Hold on. We have this is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Single Dad Homestead, Daryl. How are you today, brother?
Hey, Chris. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. Just wanted to call in, give you a little bit of support here, brother.
All right, hold on.
Okay.
Hello. Hello.
Sorry, my mixer was disconnected. A wire was jammed into the double jack. Hello again.
Hello again. Hello. How are you this evening?
Good.
Good. So can you tell me what I've done that has upset you so much?
I am going to kill all of your viewers while killing their animals.
Oh, really? Okay, well.
Oh,
Okay.
Daryl, I love you and Sherry and everybody in this community.
All right. Attention, everybody in the chat. Go grab your animals, bring them into your bedroom, surround yourself. All right.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. So,
am I on, Daryl, or am I still on hold?
no, you are on. You are on. Everybody can hear you.
Okay, good to go. Hey, everybody. I'm glad everybody came on and got over here to help support Two Family and stuff. And, you know, shenanigans. It's crazy. Guys, remember, respect. Don't be afraid. Don't be scared. That's all they're wanting. So for those that you had messaged me and emailed me and things of that nature, we just discussed it on my live. We'll say it on here on Daryl's. That's all they want. They want to play a game, and I think Daryl is handling it very well. Daryl, I just wanted to call, brother. If you need me or you want me to jump on there with you, send me the information and we'll jump on there with you.
Well, if you'd like to connect, you're more than welcome to.
It's up to you, brother. I'm here for y'all. Easier than a phone call for me. I'm standing at the door with the phone halfway out the door.
Well, let me see if I have your email here. Or I'll tell you what. Can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat.
Okay. I mean, at this point, and it changes every week, so that's fine.
Okay. You gonna send the information via chat?
Okay. And I know that some people will see this that probably shouldn't see it, but like I say, this changes every week anyway.
I'm in the same book you are, brother.
Okay.
I'll jump off here and see if I can get on there with you.
All right. The link is there.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. The packet on Toy Story. Could be. I don't know. I do know that the last thing I want is for any of those folks out here to be afraid. There's no reason for any of you to be afraid. That's not to say there's not crazy people out there, because there is. The user Carl J. Brook that has been, Mimsy, go ahead and hide them, because that is not the Carl Brook that we know. This is a Carl Brook that is a troll. No, Chris, that is not Grandpa's farm. Yeah, Grizz, that is not Grandpa's farm. I had Grandpa's farm on the line here last night, and he said that is not me. That is somebody imitating him. Fairy Tale Creations, please go ahead and hide Carl J. Brook. We actually blacklisted 8 different accounts on Carl J. Brook, and they're still finding ways to get in. Yeah, that's all you can do, is you can just hide them and report them, and We have another phone caller. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is JC's Oregon Homestead. I just wanted to let you know that me and Justin back you guys. We love you guys.
Well, thank you so much. And again, the whole reason that I'm here tonight is from an educational standpoint.
So I know it is.
So
I just wanted to let you know that we were there for you.
well, thank you so much.
Love you guys.
We appreciate that. You take care.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay. And I have Chris up here now, but I have to do a little bit of building a picture here. So hang on. See if that'll work. Chris, you should be unmuted. You can talk. I just don't have you on the screen yet.
Okay, I'm up here on top. I can see me just as a little screen on top of the.
Yeah, well, I'll get you on the primary screen here in just a moment.
We're good. I got to try to figure out how to get chat up here as well because I can't see the chat. So let's see if I can maybe make that a pop up here for us. Try to do both. Well, that didn't work too well. Let's see what I'm doing here.
Chris, I'm getting a much better picture of you on this than I do when I just connect to your stream.
Oh, that's just because I'm prettier on your screen than I am on mine.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know. I cannot get the chat and that on at the same time. So I watched just the YouTube. Can you guys? Is it still coming through okay for you and stuff, Daryl?
Yeah, and what you're receiving back from me is what I'm broadcasting. So you should be seeing exactly what's being broadcast.
Okay, I had to go on to the actual YouTube to get the chat. So if anybody, I like to watch the chat as well. So.
Oh, I understand, but you might want to just pop the chat out and put it beside the other picture. That way you don't see the delay. That way you don't see the delay.
All right, let's do this. Pop out chat. And bingo, bango. That worked better. I'm glad you're a tech guy because I would be lost.
All right.
I got my hair down. I already took the hair down today, guys, for all y'all that always talk about me wanting to put my hair down for you, Daryl.
Well, better be careful what you're saying there. You'll give this guy more to talk about when he calls in.
Oh, please, ammunition. It's all good, brother. Like I said before, I'm in the same book with you.
Okay.
So it is what it is, guys. You can't let fear be part of this.
Let me introduce who we have on the screen here for those of you that maybe do not know. This is Single Dad Homestead. In a previous life, go ahead. You give your work history.
Okay, I am a United States Marine. I will always be a Marine, and I am a retired federal law enforcement officer. I've spent a total of 14 years serving this great country of ours, and it was my honor and privilege to do so. We live completely off grid, top of the mountain. Most everybody that's on here knows me. I started off in the upping community. My whole life has been homesteading. We have since I was born, we have gardened and hunted and fished and things of that nature to provide food for ourselves, and then got into the prepping scene, teaching and traditional skills, things of that nature, and had a natural progression over into actually starting my own homestead. Instead of just having a small garden, I wanted to up my game a little bit with animals and the size of my garden. And I'm raising my beautiful daughter on my own. And we're having a good old time up here and enjoy this community that we have here in YouTube land, and meeting the people that we have. Me and Daryl met, and Sherry met back at the in Arkansas at the Shindig, the first Shindig, and Daryl helped out a lot. He got me to 1,000 subs that day. We were at 947, and we got to 1,000 subs. I appreciate, and we have become good friends. So it's kind of funny when, and I'm not meaning to make light of the subject, but it's funny that they picked Daryl and Sherry out. So it'll show you there's no rhyme or reason in what's going on. I don't know. I have a theory, though, Daryl. If you'd like to hear it.
Sure.
My theory is that somebody got screwed out of a cheesecake by Sherry, and that's where this is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think someone did not get a cheesecake, and now they're mad. So, I mean, it's just a theory, but it could be why it is happening.
Hey, the cheesecake theory.
The cheesecake theory. But I'm not trying to make light of it, guys. We just talked about this on our live. We were live right before Daryl came on and stuff. And, you know, the thing is, we have to keep that respect. We have to have that there. And I think what Daryl was trying to do last night on his live was just to give everybody the knowledge that they need to be prepared if something like this does happen to you, so that you don't give them that food that they're looking for when they're swatting you. You know, respect. You may feel disrespected yourself at the time, but like I just said a moment ago on our live, is you better understand that these men and women that are going to be responding to a horrible situation that they got a call about are responding to protect you. And I'm getting the signal saying this is done, that I'm in a good spot for you, Daryl. But hopefully I'll stay on. But understand they're responding to a bad situation, and your best bet is to have respect and to understand that they're there to do a job. Keep your hands in plain sight, empty with nothing else in them. And, you know, if you find yourself in that situation, follow those orders, verbalize those. They will work and get you to a situation, and it's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be nice if you don't know them, and you'll be okay.
Okay, Chris.
Daryl, I think we have a phone call coming in.
We
brother.
sure do. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hi, Cheryl from Scotland.
I'm sorry, Cheryl?
From Scotland.
From Scotland. How are you doing?
Our sister, what's going on?
Hi, Chris. Long time no speak.
How are you? I know. How are you today, young lady?
I'm good. I'm
How is
baking
Miss
bread.
Ewan doing?
She's big. She's very, very big.
You gotta send me a picture. If
I
you
will,
guys
don't
don't
worry.
know, she named a sheep after Elin last year, my daughter, and it's a beautiful little black with a white diamond on it.
Okay, Chris, we have our caller back.
Oh, great.
Hello. Hello.
I am a retired troll. I started in 2009, way before you all fart.
A retired troll. I like it. That is one heck of a title. Thank you for your
Not doing a very
service.
good job at being retired.
We appreciate all your support and your viewing hours and your thumbs ups and likes. Thank you very much.
All right.
Can I just say, psychology is something I've dealt a lot with, and it's horrible when people do this sort of thing. But you really do have to remember that they only do this because they're so unhappy in their own lives, and they don't. The one way that the experts put it is that they don't have anything to sustain themselves, and they confuse attention with love, and this gets them attention. It's horrible. I really wish this person was able to get help, and I know that over there you guys don't have free healthcare, and I'm thinking if you do, you wouldn't have half these problems, because half these people would be on drugs for it.
Well,
But is the drug the answer?
okay.
Or is it just a Band-Aid until they lose their mind and go in and do something worse?
All right, we have another call, so let me let this other caller in on the line here. So
Yeah, sure.
Okay. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please? Hello.
Hello,
Hello. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Emily from Emily's Green Thumb Garden and Crochet.
Well, hi, Emily. How are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
We are doing very well. Thank you so much. Did you want to talk to me or talk to Chris or address the audience
I was
here?
actually wanting to talk with Chris a minute.
Okay, he can hear you. Go right ahead.
Come on, Emily, ask away. I'm here.
Hi, Chris. I was wanting to ask a question in general. Why is it that so many men use women and then they turn out to be, they in the beginning they're good men, and then in the end they turn out to be bad apples, and then you end up with all these women that believe that all men are bad?
Well, I think there's a bunch of different errors on that from a man's perspective. I think that nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. We all slip down. But I think when it comes down to it, it's a joint thing that goes on both sides. You have men that play a role that shouldn't be played, and then you have women that are looking for that good man, but tend to gravitate toward those individuals that are a little bit more risque.
We have the call again, Chris. Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello.
Single dad Homestead looks like Emperor Xianzong of Tang. He looks like the Chinese ruler in the after-death times.
Oh,
Gotcha.
That's actually a pretty cool comparison.
Genghis Khan.
well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Yeah. I guess
That's really cool. I like that.
I hadn't identified with that.
Single dad Homestead, I love you.
I love you too, buddy. God bless you, and I promise you that we are all praying for you, and you will be on a list. And I hope that you understand what you're doing is causing anguish at some point in time.
Single dad Homestead, I love you.
I love you too.
I love
you.
you.
I really do.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
Love Daryl too. He's a great guy doing a great service.
All right. Chris, he hung up.
Oh, okay.
And in all fairness to my caller, because he's calling my personal phone, which I'm holding up to the speaker so you folks can all share in this wonderful engagement. Chris, he's probably not able to hear your response.
Oh, he can hear me, Daryl, because he's right here on this live with us, right?
Well, yeah, and I'm sure he can go back and hear it, but he's obviously infatuated with you.
Well, I mean, I like it. I appreciate it. So, Emily, did I answer your question at all?
I gave it to God at this point. I'm 36 years old, and I'm to the point of believing that there's got to be good men out there somewhere. I just haven't found them yet.
There really are.
I'm in
it
the
is tricky
same
to
mindset.
find them, but carry on, Chris.
Well, my answer on a man's side of that is that I think that it's the same situation on both sides, especially in today's world. I've got an ex-wife that left 3 children, and now has 2 more children. That is a very well-educated individual, and I think come to that moral thread that we all have uh, uh, some fraying on or breaking of. And in society today, which is a perfect example of what's going on with two family right now, you know, roles have been completely reversed within men and women. Boys aren't allowed to be boys anymore, and girls are told it's not good to be a girl anymore. And, you know, I think every man is looking for a good woman and every woman is looking for a good man, but society has pushed off such a perverted sense of what each of those are that it gets us in trouble. What I can tell you is I've taken 6 years to try to find out how to love myself, and I'm not perfect, and I've slipped. I've slipped here recently, and you know, it's a question of morality for each and every one of us every day. But it doesn't matter how much slip as long as you realize it and you climb back out of that situation. I think God's got someone intended for each and every one of us. And that's not to get on my soapbox here on your channel, but I think it's getting to where you know how to love yourself, truly love yourself, before you can find that person. And I'm trying.
Well,
That's my theory now.
I agree with you on that, and I stayed single 2 years after I left and a very abusive man that I had 2 children with. And in the end, I stayed single for 2 years before I dated again, even. And I found how to love myself. The problem is, I guess I keep finding these boys instead of men that want to be childish and play games.
You know, and here's the thing, Emily, if that's the kind of conversation, and I hate to hijack Daryl's show right here, but in my opinion, that right there lies in the problem. We don't have men, and I'm meaning men in me and Daryl's age group that are men. We don't have men that understand what it is to be a man.
Chris, you're the age of my kids.
Was that?
You're the age of my kids.
Yeah, but I'm saying that it's even in our age groups too, Daryl. It's in our age groups too, as well. I mean, the thing is people, and I would have told you 6 years ago that I would not have agreed with this statement that I'm getting ready to say until I went and did a speech, the National Tea Party. I'm not politically affiliated with them at all, but I did a speech at the National Tea Party, and I had a World War he came up to me afterward and told me thank you and that he appreciated what I was saying and how I was doing and trying to get that message across. But he told me I was mistaken at one thing, that it's not the young people of today that have made this place where we are and broken that moral thread, but it was his generation. And I was like, whoa, what are you talking about? You're the greatest generation to ever live in the United States, in my opinion. Fought World War I, World War II, during that time period, went off and fought these great wars and stuff. And he said, yeah, but he said, look at it this way. He said, after World War II, he said, our wives had went to work in the factories to support us, which is admirable and great. But when that happened, when we came back, it took both parents being at work because the government made it so hard living.
Okay.
So then we had 2 parents in the workforce, and our kids were being raised by our school system for 8 to 10 hours a day. We had to have a house in the city and a house in the mountains, a house in the city, a house at the beach. We had to have 2 cars. So that was at the point in time when that moral thread that I talk about was starting to get frayed and broke. And it's just went downhill because we wanted to give our children more and more and more as the generations have come along. Not saying we didn't have good fathers and we didn't have good men and we didn't have good women before that. What I'm saying is it's gotten frayed all the way through so much that now you have young boys that are told they don't have to be boys. Even though they're acting like young men, they're being told they're wrong or have to act like boys. And you're having little girls that are being told not to act like a little girl, that they need to act more like a little boy.
All right, Chris, let me jump in here for just a second. We have two people currently on the phone here, and I know one of them is from overseas. I want you guys to have as much time as you want. I have my special guest calling back right now, so let's get them. Hello. Hello. Hello.
I love you, Stephanie. Shout Goodbye, Daryl. You are my best friend. I love you, Grizz. Shout out to Grizz and all of the people who support Booter Man.
Wow. I love it.
Okay.
Maybe
I
he's
really
coming around
hope-
to love.
I hope that that person has actually been listening to what's been said, and I hope they've actually realised that what they're doing was ridiculous. You know, there's so much love in the homesteading community, and I'm not talking about, as he was saying, in the gay kind of way. I'm talking about everybody for everybody else. And when somebody's got a problem, which a person clearly has, everybody around in the homesteading community would much rather just say, hi, come and talk to us, what's the problem? Can we help? You know, and I think that's something I really hope that they've actually taken from tonight's talk.
Well, I hope they understand, too, that we're being serious when I say that I love him and that I'll pray for him, and I hope that he realizes. I hope they're taking that serious. And I wasn't joking earlier when you said the thing about the drugs. One of the things that's going on here in the U.S. is that we are putting a lot of people on medications, and then the medications is pushing them over that edge further than we, and they're going in. And if you look at every mass shooting at a school, you can directly line that with some type of psychotic drug. That's not me. You've got a
really messed up system.
That's the truth.
Yeah, you've got a really messed up system. Over here, it's difficult to get the drugs. The only drugs that you'll get are things that they'll give you them for a certain amount of time, but you'll also be supported with other things. It's not just a case of here's drugs, go away, bye-bye. It's, you know, you have to keep going back, and you have to keep going back and seeing your doctor, and you have to keep being assessed and everything like that. I mean, I've been on antidepressants to... It rebalances the level of serotonin in your brain, or whichever chemical is that's causing you the problem. Quite a lot of them people don't realise, but you can use the drugs for a short time to rebalance. But you can't then just keep going on them. You have to have other things in your life change. Like for us, we moved up to Scotland, and it was a miracle. Just a completely different place. I could come off the antidepressants and. You know, my life's so much different, but I had to have a change for me to work my way through that. But if I'd have stayed down where I was, I would probably still be trying to rely on the drugs. You can't do that. And that is a problem that you have in your system. Is it's too much based on pharmacology. And, you know, the pharmaceutical companies are just trying to get your money from you, whereas here... The more drugs that we have, the more it costs our government, not us personally. So.
Hello.
I think we got a call coming in. 1 second, and I'll respond to you because I agree with you.
Difficulties. Please wait.
Okay, hold.
I agree. I agree with everything you said, but I would like to ask you a question.
Hold on, because I think this call may be coming from Mexico that's here. So let me get him on here.
Oh, awesome.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is just the other line. My name is Ivan.
Oh, Ivan.
Yeah,
it's Ivan.
Yeah. Yay. Yeah, just listening to what's going on here, and just want to add my 5 cents into this. So my experience on trolls is pretty interesting, actually. I've been on both sides of trolling. Pretty much part of my job was red team IT, if you know what that means. That means when you're trying to hack into something or you're trying to bypass security measures. And part of it was trolling. So you get people mad one way or another, and you get them busy with something that they miss basic security features, like letting someone through the security gate who's not supposed to be through the gate. And that's pretty much what we did as a penetration testing. And it's actually an interesting field, to be honest. But hey, you know, I have a few things that we created on our own. We would call security guard shack with robocalls and make the guy like go crazy. We would even go on their VHF radio, even and try to talk to them on their own VHF radio. And then
Don't
we
give
would
out
have
too much information, Ivan. Ivan, watch
Yeah.
what you're saying, because all you're doing is gathering more information and more ammunition.
No,
for
I'm just saying. No, actually, I'm
I'd
actually
say
the
that's it.
opposite of this. I'll explain you why. I think people should know what trolls can do in order to protect themselves.
Oh, I think they absolutely do. But what's going on
Yeah, that's why
nowadays
there's
is that
that's why there's organizations such as DEF CON and Black Hat and so on. They share all of these details publicly.
Yeah.
And
But they need to go
they
find
do it for the reasons of saying, hey, this is what we found. This is how we found the way to get into this company or the way to get into this government facility. And they patched it up. Now they have different protocols. Now they have different ways of dealing with things. And so, yeah, pretty much, obviously, they patch it up because that's what they hire us for. The agencies and the companies, they hire us in order for us to get into their place. One of the funniest things I'll tell you guys about it, all I had to have is a book, like a clipboard, and a high visibility vest, and a laptop with me. That's all I had to have in order to get to a multi-million-dollar company server room.
Okay, Ivan, our caller is back. Ivan.
Yep.
This is Daryl. Go ahead, please.
Ivan, you dumb spick. I will kill all of you Mexican retards.
Hey, Ivan, have you ever been mistaken for a Mexican?
I think Ivan is speechless.
Ivan.
He's still connected. I don't know. But anyway.
Daryl, I've kind of hijacked your show tonight. I'm sorry, buddy.
Well, okay. And let me just, I typically don't have this many people on the phone kind of hanging around. I know that
I can go, don't worry. It's 5 o'clock in the morning here, and it's probably about time to take my bread out of the oven before I burn it. But, you know.
Well, I
want to ask you a question right now, real quick, before we go from our conversation about the men. I've lived in your country for 2 years. So if you have an individual that's on medication and it gets to a point where it's not helping them continue to stay decline in where they're at, what is the protocol for those individuals they see that they are not able to help at that?
Well,
I think I already know the answer.
If the doctor sees that the medication isn't working?
If they're continually medication and therapy and things of that nature, what's the protocol?
Oh,
is it not,
if you're still having
institutionalized?
There's various different ways. I actually know quite a lot about this because I know a few people that have got bipolar and have actually been through this whole process.
Right.
One of my friends, for instance, she's at the moment, because she's just gone on to drugs for bipolar, she's been seen by her GP every 2 weeks, but also there's a specialist bipolar team, and they come out every 2 weeks. So once a week, she's seen by somebody. And then if you continue to go downhill, we have mental health care teams, and these people will come out to you. It can be every day. There could be somebody that stays with you all the time. It can carry on like that. There's various different things where they try to keep you in your home environment if that's what's best for you. And then if it gets worse and you need to go in somewhere, then you can be sectioned either voluntarily or they will say you need help. And then you are put into a hospital situation or it depends. You can be hospitalized or you can go into mental health care. So hospitals where you're in a hospital and you've got a lot of medical, all that sort of stuff. Whereas if you go into mental health care, it's more like I'd say probably what you'd expect an old people's home to be like. So it's more focused on like rooms rather than beds, if that makes sense. You know, you're not in a hospital situation, but you can go in a hospital situation for a few days or a couple of weeks if need be to get your levels sorted, where you're able to then process things properly, so that then you can actually have, my brain's gone. So you can then have like the sessions,
It's
the
5 o'clock in the
psychology
morning.
sessions. It is, and I got hit on the head by a goat earlier today.
Oh my
But
goodness,
yeah,
I'm sorry to
we
hear
have
that.
a really
But the reason
we have a really good system. But it does
you guys
fail.
do,
It's not
you
foolproof.
do, but one of the things that you guys have, we don't have here in the U.S., and I'm speaking from a law enforcement side, is we may have a 24-hour hold or a 32-hour hold or a 72-hour hold.
72-hour hold where I'm at, because I'm bipolar myself.
Yeah, it's a continuous process of being held for short periods of time, and you can't get to a point where an individual has found that, you know, this is a prolonged period of harm to themselves, others, or a possibility of that's happened over a long period of time. Have someone put into a mental health facility is really a very, very limited thing here. And I know, because we actually were inside of a mental health facility, and once it got to a point, and when I was in London, once it got to a point with those individuals, because we had several of them we had to deal with on a daily basis, they were institutionalized. It wasn't like you get a 72-hour hold. Once it came to that point, they didn't have a choice. They were being institutionalized. And here in the U.S., that's a real hard thing to do. So unless you voluntarily do it, or you have somebody.
It's short term. You can have a very short term basis. I mean, where I used to live, there was a lady who I was on a farm, and there were 3 houses. There was a lady who lived in one of the other houses. She had bipolar, and I remember this very clearly because she attacked me physically, as well as everything else verbally. She'd stopped taking her drugs for bipolar because she wanted to go out drinking for her 40th birthday. So before it got to her 40th birthday, she lost the plot completely, and she attacked me. She was sectioned. So institutionalized, as you'd probably call it. So sections me. So she has no choice. She was taken away. And she was kept in, I think she was actually in for 3 days, and then she was released back out, but she had all the home care that I talked about earlier. But you can, a friend of mine was, was sectioned.
I think the mental health problem in the U.S. is, I think mental health is about the world, not just the U.S. But I think that our system in that is pretty broken. And I don't want to steal any more of Daryl's time here with that. I think it's a serious subject. And talk about it on my channel sometimes.
Well, and we will.
I will make sure I'm up one morning.
And we have another caller that's wanting in here, so.
I'm going to head off because it's 5:10 in the morning.
Okay. Thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate it very much.
No problem. Always thoughts with you, Daryl, especially over this.
Take care. All right. And we have a new caller.
Bye.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hello.
Hello.
This is Thomas Farms, and we just want to say that we're praying for y'all.
Well, thank you very much. And the whole we are part of the community, and you are part of the community, and we just all work together.
We're an intricate part of this community. Great.
And I guess the thing that I do want to put out here, even our guest that has been calling on my phone here this evening, I'm sure he would be, or she, I don't know, would be welcomed into this community if they just chose.
I've been sitting here listening to this, and so I've been. I've commented on the live chat, but in my opinion, that's a man.
It very well could be. It could be. I don't know. I've already made them mad here in the past. I don't want to do that again. So I'm trying to cover all my bases here. But the fact of the matter is that I'm sure that if they would choose to be so, they could be very welcomed into this entire community.
Absolutely.
But there is a way that you can do that, but I'm not going to say it on live. You can figure that out, but I'm not going to say it on live. So I'll just talk to you later.
Okay, well, thank you so much for calling. You
Good night.
have a wonderful evening.
Is Emily still on there? Who else is on here?
I'm still here. I'm still here.
Yeah, Emily is here, and I think Ivan is still here.
I think Ivan may have gotten booted or his wife hit him or something as they were driving in the truck.
Yeah, he's not talking, but he's still connected.
Yeah. So Emily, did I answer any of your question whatsoever? And
a little bit.
all I can give you is the man side of it, of where I think I'm at. I know I was in the middle of saying something, but I can't do it. All I can say is love yourself, and hopefully one day me and you both will find true love. I really hope that's possible. And if I don't,
may I make I make a comment about what y'all were talking about a while ago?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know which part, but sure.
About bipolar.
Okay.
I have bipolar myself. I've dealt with it since I was 13 years old, been diagnosed at 13. In my neck of the woods where I live, it's very hard to be hospitalized even when it's medically necessary because of the fact they have not enough hospitals in my area for it. They've literally had to put me in northern Alabama for it because of the fact there's not enough hospitals down where I live and enough beds for them to medically help people that are medically necessary to have it. So in my opinion, there's not enough hospitals in the United States to help people that have bipolar, schizophrenia, or whatever needs that they have medically that is diagnosed for mental illness.
Okay, we have our caller back. Hello. Hello.
I'm still here.
Well.
Hello. Once again, I am on the line with Mr. Daryl Holdcamp. You are starting to get boring. Fuck off.
Okay. Do you have anything you'd like to share with the folks out here?
What have I done wrong, Mr. Holdcamp?
I'm not saying you've done anything wrong. I'm just asking if you have anything you'd like to share. You're okay.
Don't you dare malfunction like that pussy.
Well, it's what happens when you get old.
I would like to say goodbye.
All right. All right. Y'all heard it here first.
Emily, that's kind of what I was alluding to with what I was asking Highlands, Homestead in the Highlands, was that we don't have enough facilities because we went from one extreme to the other. We went from a very, very poor, very bad mental health system to a non-existent health system. And now we're trying to our mental
overnight.
Health system, and we're now trying to just do it with medication. And that's not the best answer for everybody. There's some people that need to be supervised. I don't think that people need to be locked away and thrown away the key like it was back in the, the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s even. I think that we have to have a program and we have to have more facilities for these. But at the same time, we have to be able to assess that situation as it grows. So we don't have any more Columbines, and we don't have any more Jonesboro, Arkansas. We don't have any more of these schools and these church shootings. And
I think basically it's. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think they're basically putting a Band-Aid on a system that should have been fixed years ago because of the fact that they closed down more mental health facilities and they should have been adding more.
Absolutely. We're closing down what was a absolutely horrible system that was just a lock you up, put you in prison with no type of therapy or help or anything else, to a non-existent system. So they got to figure out something in between that's not taking a pill. All taking medication helps. But I'm saying it's not depending on
the one near me, if you don't have insurance, they basically look at you and go, I'm sorry, miss or sir, we can't help you at this point, but your medications will cost you $5 a piece if you have no income. And the people that can't afford it just can't afford it, and they end up in the hospital getting their medications that they need, and then when they're released, the problem is they can't afford it, so they end up back in the hospital, which costs the cities and the counties and the states way more than it would if they just help with some sort of insurance or a way for them to afford it.
Our caller is back. Hello.
I will tell you, Daryl, I turned 33 in June. That gives you a hint of who I am, even though you don't know me personally.
one more step.
Okay, well, they hung up. I'm sorry, Emily, go ahead and finish your thought.
What I was saying is basically that it's just the problem with society is nowadays is it's cheaper for them to put a Band-Aid on it than it is to fix it. And me being bipolar myself, I've learned in the past and now to the present, I've been on medications and I've been without, and I'm much better without them than I am on them. Just being supervised under, therapy and doctor's orders than it is to be on them, because of the fact simply that they've thrown pills down my throat for now a little over 16 years. And I got to the point I looked at them and I go, I'm fed up with this. I don't want medications anymore. None of them are working. You've tried like 15 on me to start. And then at one point they had me on about 42 medicines, pills a day, literally.
Yeah, Emily, I think it's a broke system. I think that where we're at is there. I don't know the answer to it. I do think that it takes more than just the pill to fix the answer. I feel for you. I'll pray for you because it sounds like you're doing well right now, and hopefully that can.
The only difference is between then and now is now they have me on a lot less medications than they did then. And since then, since they've straightened out my meds and put me on just a few versus 40 pills at a time, I'm able to think clearer. I'm able to sleep nights. I'm able to take care of my children. One lives with me, two don't. But the fact is that the moral of the story is, since then, I've started my own business. I've been on disability now over 8 years. I just started my own business simply for the fact that I looked at society and I go, I don't want to live off the government anymore. I want to take care of myself. I want to take care of my family. It's not much. It's an online plant business, but the point is I'm trying. I saved for 10 years to start my own business. I saved a little over $4,000, and I literally went through about $3,000 of it just trying to get it off the ground.
Emily, congratulations to you. And next week on Wednesday when it comes on, I want you to have the information ready for your business, and I want you to put it on our live. Because I think that you've seen and know the loves here, and I think it's gonna be even bigger for you. So, I mean, the thing is that's a big part of mental health for everybody, not just those that struggle with mental health, but to have a sense of self-worth and knowing that you're doing it yourself. And everybody, no matter what their limits are, has that ability to be able to provide for themselves in some means. And you hit the nail on the head when you said you wanted to not live off the government. There's nothing wrong with getting help. Nothing wrong with getting help. The point is that when you go to get help and they eliminate you from helping yourself altogether, or they're going to take everything away from you, is the problem.
Well, the other problem about it is, even though I saved so long for it, when I started my own business, I literally lost part of my income. And when I lost part of my income, I couldn't survive.
Emily, we have a phone call. This is Daryl. Go ahead.
Okay.
Emily, that is not even the topic. Discuss the topic or go masturbate in the corner.
Hey, Emily, it's a therapy. I mean, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Daryl,
Yes, sir.
God bless you. You're handling this like a champ, brother.
Yeah,
I
you
love
are.
it.
I agree.
All right, Daryl, what's the subject you want to go to now? We've hijacked your show. Let's go back to something you want to get on here, and let's knock this out.
Well, I think we've accomplished a few things here this evening. Number one, thank you all for being here tonight that have shown up. Premier Hill, good evening. How are you? See you every now and then I pop into one of your lives. If you all don't know Premier Hill, he does some magic things with his camera and produces animal heads and so forth that talk to you. It's kind of a fun little interesting channel. Anyway,
Make smudges?
pardon?
Make smudges?
Yeah, but none of them have looked like smudge so far. If he comes up with one that actually looks like smudge, I'll have to get it from him.
Oh, challenge is made, Premier Hill.
But no, he's got a cat that is absolutely fantastic. A cat face that just will look at you with big eyes and talk to you, and yeah, it's so. If you all have a chance to drop into Premier Hill sometime, do so. It's kind of a fun little bit of entertainment. So anyway, tonight, first off, thank you to the person calling on the phone here. I'm glad that you've done this. I'm glad we've established a little bit of communication. The people in here are not bad people. And I don't know that there's anybody in here that hates you or anything else. I certainly don't. I'm sure that Chris doesn't.
Not at all.
And we just want the best for everybody. We just want the best for everybody. And if you would like to talk to me privately, hey, you have my phone number. And you have called without me doing a live stream. And I'll be more than happy to take your call and talk with you if you'd like to do that. So I am leaving the door open for you to do that. I want to thank everybody that's in here this evening. I'm hoping that this has been somewhat of an educational thing for you this evening, that, okay, you don't necessarily have to go cower back in a corner and fear the unknown, so to speak. Just be respectful, be upfront, and in a very odd way, this is maybe a blessing for everybody, that one of the main things we have suggested that you do is you contact your local law enforcement. Get to know them, have them get to know you. That is certainly something that cannot hurt in any way, shape, or form. I guess I'm kind of at a loss of words. I'm like I say, I'm hoping that that this is something that people are taken into context, that a lot of people's fears have been wiped away. I know for a fact that we had some people saying, "Oh, I'm never going to go live again. I'm going to shut down my YouTube channel." And in the moment, that may seem funny to the person causing it, but in the long run, it's not a step ahead. It really isn't. So, Chris, you got anything you want to say?
Deer can't run our lives, and Daryl handled this just like a gentleman and a scholar. And to the gentleman that's calling in, or the lady that's calling in, troll is what you're being called because of what's happened, but I'm going to call you friend. Stay on here with us. Contact Daryl. Talk to him straight up. If you need help with something, this community can be here for you. As much as you see going on this chat, we really could be here for you. And if you need that, bring it on. We're here.
Is there anybody else out here in the chat that would like to call in? Has anything you'd like to say, like to share with folks? I know that it's late. I know many of you have to work tomorrow. And I don't want to, our moderators have been extremely gracious to us here this evening. You guys are doing an absolutely marvelous, wonderful job, like you always do. And I suppose I would be remiss if I didn't say, hey, if you'd like to become a member, if you believe what Two Family Homestead is doing and helping you in any way, and if you would like to become a member of Two Family Homestead, just hit that join button, and we would certainly welcome to have you on board here. The folks with the green are all members, and some of them that are moderators are also members, but they don't show up. They do get the little smudge beside them. So we thank each of you for doing that. And Chris, if you want to hang on, I think we're going to go ahead and shut the stream down, but if you'll just hang on where you're at.
Absolutely. Good night, everybody.
Everyone, thank you so much for being here this evening. I really, really appreciate it. And I thank you very much. So you folks have a wonderful evening. Hope you learned something. Take care. And we will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock for our review and some channel time. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.